Welcome back, everybody. This is Darreck Kirby for Cheap Pop, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Something I've considered doing before, but never really took the chance to take a crack at it until now. However, this is going to be a different treat. We are going to be reviewing the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer that dropped the other day. Now, growing up, I was a huge fan of the G-Man, and I watched the original Godzilla vs. King Kong. I don't know how many times. The one from the '60s, the King Kong suit looks like absolute garbage. And as cheesy as it is, being in the Showa era and having as much B movie schlock as possible, it is a classic to me, nevertheless. So much so, I got it on Blu-ray recently in anticipation of this film coming out, the 2021 remake. It sounds like it'll be dropping on HBO now, HBO Go, something like that soon. Just like similar to what they did with like Wonder Woman 1984 and all of that. But we're gonna take a crack today at the trailer. We're going to watch it, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts. So I'm not gonna waste time. Let's get to it.
This is our only chance.
They love that blue versus orange. Oh, they've already
We have
caught
to
it.
take it.
Thing holds his weight rather well.
We need Kong.
The world needs him to stop what's coming. And this child, she's the only one he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise to protect her. And I think that in some way, Kong did the same.
So is this how they're kind of circumventing the whole thing with King Kong basically abducting the beautiful 20-something-year-old actress and then kind of forming like a weird, almost romantic-y sort of relationship with her, kind of like they had in the Peter Jackson King Kong? Yeah, probably a better route than trying to, abduct and have weird, almost bestiality like vibes with Naomi Watts and King Kong. So, okay, whatever. Man, they love that Godzilla's wrecking shop.
It's
Ooh.
Godzilla.
Why do we need like hip hop rap fight music for Godzilla vs Kong? I get it. It's about as colossal of a matchup as you can make. But an immediate thought came to mind here. How the shit is that barge holding both Godzilla and King Kong? You know how many hundreds of tons they would both have to weigh? I don't know what those are capable of holding, but I'm guessing they're not used to holding those. This is like the third biggest Godzilla ever created. Shin Godzilla and the one from the anime, I think, are both bigger than this. But another thought I had back here, they said at the start of the trailer, there's King Kong. Oh, Godzilla busting up. So they said at the beginning that King Kong, the world needed Kong for what's coming. I think that the implication there, mixed with the editing, showing Godzilla, plowing through these boats, through these ships, and blowing up planes, and the planes are shooting at him. It paints it to look like Godzilla's the bad guy. I don't think Godzilla's going to be the bad guy. I mean, he's getting top billing in this film, and the 1960s one was actually King Kong versus Godzilla. And if you had a winner of sorts from that film, it was Kong. At least that was the hinted thing, because King Kong, obviously dating back to the 30s, was a big inspiration for Godzilla, and Toho had admiration for him where they're basically like, look, we'll split the difference and hint if anyone won, it was actually you. There is no Japanese cut wherein Godzilla wins, even though that was a long-standing urban legend I wanted to believe as a Godzilla fan. So I think this is presenting it to look like Godzilla's the bad guy. He's not going to be the bad guy. I think this is going to be full Batman v Superman type shit, wherein they're going to be pitted against each other for a while. You'll have some cool fighting, and then some new monster will show up. They've already blown the King Ghidorah card on King of the Monsters, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be Mecha King Ghidorah, like the in credit scene hinted at. And if that's the case, then you're going to, I guess, have that option on the table. But they'll have to team up just like that. It'll be the equivalent of Godzilla about to kill King Kong, and King Kong's gonna be something like, "You're killing Mothra!" And Godzilla's gonna lose his shit like, "Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name?" Like, it's going to be more or less Batman v Superman, I think. But the fighting, I'm sure, is going to be cool. I think it's weird that it's hinting at, and I see they got the actors as well, a lot of them at least. I don't see Hiddleston or Brie Larson from Kong Skull Island. But I think they're going to definitely try to keep as much hinting at Godzilla being the bad guy here. And that would be fine if this was an isolated film that didn't follow the continuity of the other Godzilla films. So he just, as lame as it was at King of the Monsters, all the other kaiju around the world bowing down to him after he defeated King Ghidorah. I never took it as like a literal like crown that he wore. I always just kind of took it as a respective title. Like, he could kill any of those monsters. He can beat any of those monsters. He's the most powerful, one of perhaps the oldest kaiju out there. And so that's where the title comes from, not from this manufactured thing where it's got to be like almost like a legitimate bowing down process. But whatever. That was my thinking on that, and I think that might have just stemmed as well from it being, King Ghidorah. Like, that's what they're working off of. So since like Rodan bowed down to Ghidorah earlier in the film, they flipped it to where at the end, like, okay, now Godzilla is the big bad, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, no, we're done. We're done with this insurrection or whatever of the world. But yeah, so let's continue here. That's a badass shot. Still attacking. How would Kong go to already avoid that?
These are dangerous times.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people, and we don't know why.
So you got the actors as
There's
well
something
from,
provoking
King
him
of the
that we're not
Monsters.
seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real. There was.
These are dangerous times.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people, and we don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real. There was a war. And they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
Who bows to who?
Nobody gon' stop me. Here we go.
Kong bows to no one.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people, and
I was trying to find like a just cool area to pause.
These are dangerous times.
There you go. Okay, so Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people, and we don't know why. Is the Monarch device, and maybe I need to brush up on King of the Monsters, is the Monarch device, I believe it was, that could speak to the kaiju still there? The one that was used, the human vocals or whatever, matching the signature of the vocal, whatever, to sort of connect with Godzilla and communicate slightly. That was another kind of cheesy angle. So okay, I take it back. They are presenting Godzilla as a big bad here, although he's mind controlled, and there's some kind of ancient kaiju war between Godzilla and King Kong's races.
And they're the last one standing.
I can't reach up for greatness because I'm built from it.
Here's my next reaction.
Who bows
I
to
understood
who?
that King Kong would be really confused.
Kong bows to no one.
What the fuck is King Kong holding? He's holding like a giant like axe or tomahawk, and it can absorb. It's not just walking. It's absorbing Godzilla's atomic breath, and then he hits Godzilla with it. Look, I understand, just like in the 1960s film, if you're going to make these two fight, you're gonna have to change some things up. You can't, like, because King Kong is nowhere near Godzilla's size anywhere in canon. Godzilla, like I said, his height has changed too. I think his smallest incarnation was like 40 feet tall. And King Kong's biggest until the 1960s one was like 25 feet tall. So that's a significant difference in height, even if you're going off the originals. Then they made them both, you know, the Showa era got bigger as it went, and King Kong in that film, they just pretended like, oh, no, it's fine. They were always the same height. And I get it. They made Kong Skull Island bigger because even when they first did that film, it was always building towards this eventual rematch. This is their monster verse or whatever they want to call it. But man, oh man, in the 1960s one, they had to give King Kong like electricity powers suddenly. And then even though Godzilla breathes atomic breath, that was like a weakness for him because he didn't like walking through power lines. That was a weird angle even then. But now you're giving Kong, I get it. He's an ape and he's intelligent. He's going to use tools. But that he has like this ancient weapon that absorbs atomic breath and is used against him. Also, they said that they're fighting for the title of king because Godzilla was just dubbed King of the Monsters in the previous film when he beat King Ghidorah. Now you're gonna tell me that for whatever reason, because they only call him Kong in this. Kong Skull Island. Kong is what he's referred to all throughout this. They've never once said King Kong, his full name. Is that an indication that he's going to win this fight, even if he doesn't have to kill Godzilla to do it, even if I'm still somewhat right that they're going to eventually team up when Godzilla, if he's under some kind of control, when that control is broken, or eventually Godzilla would bow. Man, I don't like that at all. I get that King Kong's the American creation and Godzilla is the Japanese import, if you will, or export. But I don't get why you have a series, like the MonsterVerse does not exist without Godzilla. King Kong has one good movie that's been remade several times. Most of them good. There's been a couple of duds. And man, the sequels have never been good. Not that Godzilla's always classic. Godzilla's been a lot of B-roll schlock over the years, but Godzilla's had several good films as well. So, like, Godzilla's the money-making monster here. I don't think you could have started the MonsterVerse and been as successful. Granted, King of the Monsters underperformed. Been as successful as you have been with Kong at the center versus Godzilla. But this really feels like they're hinting at Kong winning. And even if it's just like has to knock Godzilla in the head. What's the stupid thing in the first Avengers movie when Black Widow hits Hawkeye on the head and it's like temporal recalibration. I hit you hard on the head and it like rewired your brain back to normal instead of the mind control. Is that sort of what we're going to go for here, where Kong, perhaps on this hit, because, trailers, they used to be really bad about it, and they've gotten better, but where Kong is basically going to smash Godzilla in the head, and Because there's no fucking way they kill him. There's no way they're going to kill Godzilla or Kong. So if he wins, it's that... man, but I don't know how you do that, because if he wins in almost any capacity, maybe the way they would try to salvage it, instead of saying just like, oh, well, King Kong beat Godzilla, but then another monster did show up, and that monster's kicking Kong's ass, and Godzilla has to actually save him. Is that how you sort of thinking in terms of like wrestling booking or whatever? Is that how you try to make Godzilla look strong in defeat, where he lost, and it's almost like they're like co-kings or something like that? Godzilla's king of the monsters, but Kong isn't necessarily a kaiju like he is, but he's not. He's a big ape. He's not like a mutant ape other than his size. I don't know. But I think that might be how they have Kong win, which mirrors, again, the 1960s one, even though in that film Kong had top billing, so it made sense, sort of. Again, Toho made it, though. Where Kong wins, but Godzilla still looks strong in defeat, and they still have to team up together. But even Kong Skull Island didn't perform great. So, like, if they're banking on, like, marketability of Kong being, like, the U.S. Property versus Godzilla as the Japanese export, I don't know, man. I don't know about that decision. The action looks cool. I did also notice, going back here, I hope this girl doesn't have a big bearing in the story.
She had nowhere to go.
I'm sure she's somehow going to connect to both of the monsters. Even she senses... like, it's one thing to say, like, oh, they have a connection, but it almost implies that she has, like, a mental link. Like, a literal mental link with Kong. Which Godzilla films have done before, and it's never been great. But, like, she feels and senses Godzilla coming. So does Kong. Godzilla is hurting people, killing people. So they declare war on them. I noticed in the action, Kong was getting in all of the offense. So when Godzilla busts up here, it knocks Kong back. Kong gets the first punches. Tackles into the water. Avoids the atomic breath.
These are dangerous times. Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people, and we don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real. There was a war,
Yeah, he's got an axe. He's got like a battle axe.
and they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
Who bows to who?
Nobody gon' stop for me. Here we go.
Kong bows to no one.
Kong got in every hit. Every single hit in that trailer was delivered by Kong. That's... again, I know the trailer is building Godzilla as the baddie, provoked or controlled, whatever. If Godzilla... here's the thing. I love the original Godzilla film. I love Godzilla 1984, or as it's known here, Godzilla 1985. I love Shin Godzilla. I love when Godzilla is the bad guy. But in those films, it's not a kaiju fight. Like, Godzilla, he wants to fight other kaiju. He doesn't really give a shit about humanity, but these first two films have already dubbed him as literally the protector. Like, he saved San Francisco against the Mutos, and then, like, is practically, like, waving to the crowd as he's going back to the sea, like, yes, yes, you're welcome, yes. Now watch my belly flop into the water as I leave peacefully. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. They've already done that. And then, you know, literally going full protector, like, oh, the key to communicating with him is we have to add a human vocal signature and then they're in perfect harmony, and we can kind of communicate with him, and now he's protecting us directly. Like, to flip it, where unless it's using that device that can speak to the kaiju that we saw in King of the Monsters, and just maybe the eco-terrorists that were in that film, again, they find the King Ghidorah head at the end, maybe they have it, and they're, manipulating Godzilla. But here's my other question. If Godzilla is the bad guy, and maybe this is just typical good guy, bad guy, sort of pro wrestling, babyface versus heel thinking. If Godzilla is the bad guy, then he's not going to be above, like, fighting without honor. He's not going to be like, this is a one-on-one fight, all you other kaiju stay out of it. And you saw those, like, dragon things flying around King Kong and him having to fight them. Is that something where Godzilla, realizing he can't just straight up beat Kong for some dumb fucking reason, has to basically be like, oh, okay, well, all I care about is that you're dead, and I've established my rank in this pecking order of this entire species, this planet, whatever. So, yeah, I can't whistle, but like, boys, get over here. All these kaiju that were bowing to me at the end of the last film, get your ass in here, kill them. Would he do that? Is that part of the thing? Because I'll tell you what, as I go full Hank Hill, I'll tell you what, if he calls in all the other kaiju, Kong beats the kaiju and then beats Godzilla, man, that's how you, and again, to use another wrestling term here, that's how you bury a talent. That's how you bury a character. Because it's like, so, whether Godzilla was good guy or bad guy is irrelevant. He was always going to fight. I know sometimes, like, bad guy wrestlers, like, they don't have the same resolve or intestinal fortitude or whatever, and they get hit in the mouth and they act almost cowardly and, like, underhandedly. I get it. Tactics change. But I don't think you're going to do that with this. It's not the same psychology, if you will. So it's like, how he fights good guy versus bad guy is irrelevant. It's going to be largely the same. But if it's him plus all these other freaking kaiju, and they're not going to use big names. I don't think you're going to see Rodan. Mothra already got killed, but Mothra comes back all the freaking time. I don't think you're going to see those big bads. I think, not that they're bad guys, but I don't think you're going to see those big names. I think you're going to get more of these legendary films, originals, if you will, like the Muto were an original concept. I think you're going to get more creatures like that. And okay, if we go that route, does that mean that Godzilla and them have to lose to Kong? Because good God, that's putting King Kong completely over the top. And I would say that, like, that registers as just a straight up King Kong film. Like, it's not even Godzilla. You might as well call this Kong vs. Godzilla, basically King Kong 2, Kong vs. Godzilla. That's basically what it would boil down to. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see where they take this. I am concerned as a G fan because my understanding coming into this versus watching the trailer back, very different now. And now, while it's good, they're not just going to rip off Batman v Superman necessarily. They still might take strong elements from it. I'm concerned about the direction they're kind of heading just based on the fact that, hey, let me make an adjustment. Oh, now I'm super big. Just based on the fact that, they're going to put Kong over this way, that they've had to make him significantly larger, stronger, apparently more intelligent, and rewrite his origin thing to create this ancient war. And, oh yeah, now he has this, like, battle axe that absorbs atomic breath and reflects it back at Godzilla. Cool. Like, if you have to rewrite every element of a character to make him stand on even footing or be even stronger if he presumably wins, is that good writing? Is that good world building? I don't know, but we'll see. I'm going to try not to, if they release another trailer between now and its release date, just says 2021. If they release another trailer, I'll probably avoid it because once you have multiple trailer cuts and they're all like 2.5 minutes long, I worry that you're going to lose every story beat, and then just sitting down in the theater or watching on HBO Max is going to just be a situation where it's like, oh, okay, well, I already kind of knew everything going in. Right now, there's questions, and that's intriguing. So that's it for my time. Drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to Cheap Pop. Until next time, peace.